Call a meeting to order at 7:30 p.m. And we'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Babel, will you lead the Pledge of Allegiance? Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, Mr. Boda,
Here.
Mr. Patsalos.
Here.
Mr. Horn.
Here.
Ms. Babel,
Here.
Mr. Blackstock.
Here.
And Freehand is present, and Miss Cindy Paparelli is with us this evening. And Mr. Simons is absent. He had planned to be absent tonight. So at this point, I would entertain a motion to appoint Mr. Boda as Chairman Pro Tem for this evening's meeting.
I'll make that motion.
I'll support.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Patsalos, supported by Mr. Horn, to appoint Mr. Boda as Chairman Pro Tem for this evening's meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Mr.
Okay, next item on the agenda is to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting.
If there are no questions or additions, I will make a motion we approve the agenda as presented.
Support.
Go ahead. All right, I do have one addition to the agenda for tonight's meeting. It will be under new business 2. And what it'll be is for marijuana sales in East China Township. Okay. Next item,
Do you have a motion in a second?
well, I'm sorry, yes, I need a motion to put that item on the agenda.
I'll support that motion.
Okay, those in favor, signify by aye.
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 Okay, it's approved. All right, who would like to approve the minutes of February 19th, 2019?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
I'll support.
Okay. Debbie, you support? Okay. Next item is public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak about something that is not on the agenda? Seeing none, proceed. Consent agenda, we have one item. That's the St. Clair County Fire Department, City of St. Clair.
I'll make a motion we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Support. Next item will be the disbursements.
You want to vote on that, Mr.
We have,
Boda? Did you want to vote on?
I'm sorry.
We gotta vote on
Oh. All those in favor accept, taking the consent agenda?
Aye.
Aye.
Against, okay, there. All right, next item is disbursements. First one is invoices of $456,877.03. Next is accounts payable at $83,616.84. Payroll in the amount of $22.02. Payroll direct deposit, $32,871.57. electronic fund transfers in the amount of $38,154.23 for total disbursements of $611,541.69. Need a motion, support?
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills.
Support.
Been a motion and support to pay the bills in the amount of $611,541.69. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Horn,
Yes.
Mr. Patsalas?
Yes.
Mr. Boda?
Yes.
Ms. Bebel?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
And freehand vote yes.
Okay. All right, next item on the agenda is, under new business, is purchase of new desktop computers and software. Okay, purchase of new desktop computers and software. Cindy, would you want to update this?
So I put it all together for you in a memo. The long and short of it is this was a planned expenditure. We did have one computer fail unexpectedly, so we're trying to avoid that in the future. We've gone through this whole network analysis back in October, and they identified our critical areas of concern. We've addressed number 1 and 2 with our firewall and new network server. The next thing is going to be our desktop computers. Mainly, we've got computers that are 7+ years old, and we're operating with the Windows 10 or Windows 7, which is not going to be able to be upgraded, and it's no longer going to be serviced. No patches. The integrity of the operating system will be compromised. And they say as of January of 2020, I've heard it as soon as July of this year. So with that new computer would come the new operating system, and with that, we'd also purchase the Windows or the Microsoft Office upgrade package. We've got a couple of options, and I've included that pricing within this not-to-exceed price. I did double-check. These are, our vendor will meet the My Deal prices for the hardware, and they've been servicing us and doing all of our installations, so I'm really comfortable with their level of service to get this installed correctly and promptly.
Okay, thank you.
Is there a warranty that goes along with those, Cindy?
With the hardware, it would be manufacturer warranty,
It would be a manufacturer warranty?
right, because they're, correct.
Okay.
Is, Cindy, is the Microsoft Office, is that the annual license, the 314, or is that a
So
one-time buy?
what I looked at is a couple of options, and based on our size, it is the best option to purchase the actual 2019 Office package and do the Office 365 Essentials, which is the email and calendar option. I don't know if I included the options there. We could do the business package for the Office 365 per user, but that is kind of a cost that could fluctuate. They could raise those fees on a monthly basis. We could get it for a year at what we expect, and next year it could go upwards of 20 to 22%. They have seen that happen. So if we were to get the Office 2019 at the fixed cost of about $300 per computer, we would be paying about $5 a month just for the email service, which is really a good fit for our size organization.
Okay. Someone would like to make a motion to purchase 3 new desktop computers as provided on the high-tech quotes, including Microsoft Office 2019 and Office 365 Business Essentials for each at a cost not to exceed $6,400 for equipment installation and startup.
I'll make that motion.
There's been a motion, support.
Support.
Just one more quick,
Yeah.
we replaced one, so that'll bring us up to 4 new computers.
Correct, yep.
Just out of curiosity, which ones were those?
So.
Are there any more left in the office?
There,
that-
there will be, and I'm
Okay.
doing it based on their risk assessment and the age. Some of them, we may be able to get Windows 10 into those. We can't do an upgrade, but we would be able to buy the new package. The ones that I chose were the oldest. They're 2011 and 2012. The other computers in the office are 2015 and 2016. And I think, so 2011, 2012, 15 and 16, and then I think the supervisors is also a 2012.
Okay.
So eventually, yes. But I think we can get through this budget year with these 4.
The $6,400, what is that a total of?
So that is the hardware for 3
38, 37?
desktop units. The software, 2019 Microsoft Office. They've got surge protectors, VGA adapters, and their annual endpoint and antivirus protection, and then monitors.
Are we gonna be purchasing that block of, the 10 hours for the service? Are we purchasing that up, so
Yes,
it's part of the
yeah.
64?
We've been doing that.
Right.
It saves us. So they anticipate it to be about a 10-hour block, so that would be part of that 6,400.
Okay.
And then the balance is the install and startup costs for the Office 365 plus the first year's subscription.
And our staff is familiar with that, what we're buying and everything, with the computers and everything, the
Yeah.
software?
Yes, we'll all be learning a little bit. It's a little different. It's going to seem unfamiliar to some, but I was the guinea pig, so I'm working with it right now.
Good.
Any other questions? Okay, we have a motion and we have a second. Do some roll call, Mr. Brownlee.
Roll call. Mrs. Bevel?
Yes.
Mr. Blackstock?
Yes.
Mr. Boda?
Yes.
Mr. Vatsalas?
Yes.
Mr. Horn?
Yes.
And Freehand votes yes.
Okay. Passes. Okay, under new business number 2, I spoke with Larry a few days ago. I did not realize he was on vacation. He was down in Florida when he answered his phone. So anyways, he thought it was on the agenda, but it wasn't, it didn't get on, but he said he'd like to have perhaps, if the board would have the attorney, give the board, an opinion on recreational marijuana. Not the medical, but the recreational. And he'd like to have the attorney, I should say, excuse me, could write something up, and then we could discuss the results of that, write up that opinion here at the board level, and then make a decision on what we want to do. I think that was it.
Right, and so we were going to put this on the agenda. I wasn't sure if we would get a reply from her, which we actually did. I got a reply from her today. So essentially, we have an opinion. So you may want to add it to the agenda. I would submit this information. The board will need to decide which direction it wants to go, and once they decide that, then the attorney would assist in crafting an opt-out ordinance, if that's the direction that they choose to go.
I understand when I was reading the paper, there's been quite a few communities that have already said they weren't going to do it. They weren't going to sell marijuana in recreational forms. There's like over 100 communities so far in cities, towns, townships, and so forth. And evidently, Larry's been asked several times by different residents, as I have also. So this is something that Larry wants to do, is to get an opinion and see what that opinion reads and perhaps put it into an ordinance form.
Okay, Ms. Paparelli, we have an opinion
Well,
from the attorney?
right, so the attorney understands the limitations of any ordinance that may be written, but what the board will want to do is decide which direction that they want to go. I think that would be the springboard for the attorney then to submit an opinion or offer an ordinance. If the board decides they want to pursue an opt-out, then she would assist with that. If the board decides they want to take a wait-and-see approach, then there would be no action needed. There's no timeline on this particular opt-out ordinance at this time. But if you do decide you want to go in that direction, you should probably get started on that.
Okay, so,
I don't know if that's a conversation you want to have at the next meeting, maybe a little more background information provided.
I think that would probably be best.
So basically, we already have our opinion. We can receive and file that opinion and just put it on our next board meeting to discuss, for discussion.
Probably I would recommend that, yeah. Mhm.
so this was brought this evening just for your, excuse me, for your information, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Yeah, I'll provide what I've been given by the attorney and let y'all kind of make decisions based on that information.
Okay,
So our action, we don't really, do we need to take action to table any
Probably
discussion?
table it. I would think we might have to table it till the next meeting.
yeah, that's,
Because
kinda
it's-
think that's
Because
what he
it's
was
on the
after.
agenda.
Well, what we officially would be doing would be tabling a decision to opt out or opt in, pending this further discussion of information coming from the attorney as well as our own input. We
and
table it to
the
the
state
next
hasn't come up with a set of rules yet or anything, but a lot of communities are just trying to get a head start on it, a jump on it. And the state hasn't come up with really these set rules and set in concrete or anything.
I'll make a motion that we table the marijuana sales in the township until we get the opinion from our attorney and further information from our manager.
I'll support.
Okay, it's been a motion and support. All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Against? Pass, okay. All right. Go sign it now.
Is that, Mr. Horn, you seconded that?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't have the resolution 02-02019. You got it? Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda is a resolution 02-2019, amend the 2019 budget. Mr. Blackside, would you like to read that?
Sure. Resolution 02, 2019, to amend the 2019 budget. Minutes of a regular meeting of the Township Board of East China Township, County of St. Clair, Michigan, held in the Township Hall on the 4th day of March 2019. Following resolution is offered by myself, whereas a result of unanticipated changes in revenues and needed expenditures, it is necessary to modify the aforesaid budget, and whereas this is a legitimate need for the amendment of the 2019 budget due to increased changes, and whereas the East China Township Board has reviewed the need to increase the general fund, and therefore be it resolved, the East China Township Board of Trustees approves the resolution to amend the 2019 budget as attached.
Okay. Okay, you're making a motion on that, correct?
Yes.
Support?
I'll support.
Okay. Supported by Angelo. Okay, all those in favor, signify by aye.
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 Opposed? Carried. Okay. Next item is announcements, which I don't have any. Next item is member comments. Mr. Horn,
I have none tonight.
Ms. Betzows,
I just, I went through your monthly manager report. Cindy, looks like you had a busy February,
We did.
but a very productive February.
We're getting
It was
there.
very good. Thank you. Nothing else.
all right, Ms. Babel,
Nothing tonight.
nothing?
Nothing,
Herb?
thank you.
Nothing? Bob?
Just, winter announcements or comments?
Yeah, member comments.
Just as probably people have read in the newspaper, East China School District has proposed a bond issue, and there will be a special election on May the 7th. And as is typical for school districts, the various townships and municipalities that are involved within the geographic boundaries of the township, of the school district, will be conducting the election for them. As is typical with the school district election, we keep track of our expenses in conjunction with it, since it's the only item in East China Township. It's the only item on the ballot. Therefore, the expenses are borne by the school district. That's on May the 7th, and we will be sending out absentee applications for absentee ballots to all of those people, and there are 417 people on our permanent AV list. This, by the way, we will be implementing the changes that are coming about as a result of the approval of Proposal 3 in the November general election. So there are some changes, and in fact, you can do this year, you can do in-person voter registration up to the day of the election, actually, on the day of the election. You do it in person here at the Township Hall with myself or Wendy Meldrum. So that's a change. So the 30-day voter registration requirement is no longer, there's a 15-day lead time for mail-in or Secretary of State voter registration, but you can register to vote up to and including the day of the election up to 8 p.m. And what happens then if somebody actually registers that day, they're given an absentee ballot, they fill out the absentee ballot, and we process the absentee ballot just like we would any absentee ballot. So the Secretary of State is starting to implement all of the things that are required as a result of the approval of Proposal 3 in November.
Okay, thank you. Sounds complicated. Okay, the only thing I have is that tomorrow, there's gonna be a little get-together, but if you folks wanna come in, you can have a little piece for bringing in some chickens and sandwiches. If you guys would like to attend, show up. Okay,
What's that?
What time is that?
tomorrow about 11?
Mhm.
Yeah, about 11. We'll start. We'll have it set up in here someplace. Okay. Next, last item on the agenda is adjournment.
I make a motion that we adjourn at 7:55.
Support.
Okay. 7:55 has been support. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. We are officially adjourned. Thank you.